Hey everybody, this is a short instructional video about charting. And the reason I thought this is appropriate to do, ever since I started getting better at using charts, I win more trades. Most people buy because of either hype, some kind of news headline that's catchy, or emotion. Okay? I want to show you how I use these charts to make better decisions. And they're educated decisions. Okay, now, before buying any stock or crypto, here's what I look at first and foremost. Here's the SOXX chart. This is the semiconductor sector that we're looking at here. And so anytime I look at a chart, first of all, quick lesson, here's TradingView. This is the charting program I use. It's the best one out there. Top left, right here is where you enter symbols. When you click it, it's nice because you can either look charting for stocks, funds, futures, forex, crypto, indices, bonds. It's everything. The economy is interesting too. So or you click all and they all come up. So just about anything that is traded with real money you can access here. Now, time frames right next to that. Right now I have the daily candles up, but if you click this little drop down menu, you can do any time frame you want down to 1 minute. Look, it even gets into seconds. It's crazy. If you like your mind to get boggled, go ahead and look at the seconds. Stay with the daily for this example. Next to that is what type of chart. Okay, stay with candles, everybody. Get to learn candles. 2 wicks, wick on top, wick on bottom. Wherever the price opens at is the bottom of the body. That's where our price opens. Where the price closes is at the top of the body. If it closes above the previous close, the candle is green. Okay? Back up one. See how at the top, this is where it closed. Guess what? This candle opened up here, but the fact that it's red means it closed down here on the bottom of the body. Okay, those are candles. We can get more details on that just real quick. So, first thing I look at, I'm on the daily, and when I look at a chart, I want to see what the 52-week high and the 52-week low is. Okay, and that's easy to do. You right next to the candles, you go over, you click your indicators, and you type in 52-week high, 52-week low. There it is right there. Okay, boom. So these orange lines. Okay, so this top orange line, 618.84. Bottom line is 219.13. That's the high and the low throughout this year. Okay, or the last 52 weeks, which is a total year to date. Okay, so if I'm looking at something and it's up near the 52-week high, that's going to be overpriced. Okay, that's we're towards the top of the trading zone. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, because this particular chart in this semiconductor industry sector, we are seeing just higher highs constantly this past year. So next, I come back here and I draw a couple lines. Okay, I want a support and resistance line, which means you either see exhaustion of buying when it sits on a top line, or exhaustion of selling, meaning that the opposite investors coming in. I see about 1, 2, 3. See how there's some candles that kind of stopped right here. So let's just put a line right there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom. I already have it in my favorites here. This is a horizontal line. So I click that. Come down here. This looked like resistance because it was bouncing off the top, came down. Bouncing off this line, came down. Once the price action moves above that resistance that it's bouncing off and moves above it, it becomes support. Okay, we're talking about resistance on the top, support on the bottom. Now, as the price action moves up and it finds a point where it backs off, that can be considered the resistance. Now, Sure enough, bounced off this bottom line here, which was our previous resistance, but now this is support. See how this is working here? Price action moves up, bounces off. That's our resistance. Okay, did it again. A little bit back. Boom. Resistance. Now, once we have our resistance and support levels where there's about 2 or 3 pivots on that price, we can define those as such. See how we bounced down, came off this support again, kind of moving sideways. We dipped a little bit, but below there. That's why you have to be patient to make sure what that candle closes at, and then we move up. So at this time, this is how you use the charts. We know that this is resistance, so when the price action breaks resistance, this could be an indication to buy, because we can kind of assume, looking at this support and resistance, every time it bounced off, it moved up. See, we had a bounce. That's a little bit higher, but then it moved up. It bounced off, it moved up. It bounced off, it moved up. Once it breaks resistance, this is another time, a good time to get in. Okay. Now, obviously, these points down here, these are also good entry positions when it bounces off support. Secondly, it's a good entry once it breaks resistance. Okay. Look what happened, man. This is the semiconductors thing right here. Those of you who got into this trade, and this is the whole sector, so this isn't one specific company, but boy, oh boy, that would be fun to ride. I did have a semiconductor that I rode up, and I didn't want to get greedy. When I saw a little bit of weakness right here, I ended up, I sold some call options to exit and get out right up here. Okay, but look what happened. It went up more. Doesn't matter. I won. Okay, I won the trade, so I don't care. So, but here's the other thing. The orange line is a 52-week high. So this orange line right here, we can assume it's the all-time high, that it's going to be resistance. Okay, so I'm just going to put my line right there. We bounced off that. Now, how low are we going to go? Look, nobody knows. This is just, we're trying to increase probability by looking at charts. Okay, so if I come over here, I'm going to draw another line. It kind of looks like, and remember, these are daily candles, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We are right here. This is today. This price did bounce above this 550. Now, remember, okay, there's a lot of other indications that we're not going to get into. It can be overwhelming. Here, I'll just show you real quick. I got my proprietary, my own one that I put in here, my own indicator. If I click that, look at all that crap. You see all these moving averages and things and signals and blah. It just it gets crazy when you're using charts. Okay, as a newbie, just start with lines, support and resistance. We can also use trend lines, okay? And I'll just do a trend line now that we're talking about this. This is a bottom point down here where it bounced off, I'm just going to draw a line up that touches a couple of these spots, and this is where we're sitting today. It's interesting how that the junction comes together right there. This is a big day, everybody. Now that I'm looking at this, wherever this big candle closes today, if it does bounce off of this lower trend line, we can assume that it could move up to that resistance level of the 52-week high. Now, if it goes below this, okay, probability-wise, where do you think it's going to go? It's going to go a little bit lower. Okay, that's an index example. Let's move over to another one here. Let's look at Bitcoin. Okay, here's the Bitcoin chart. And the Bitcoin chart, oh my, whoa, that's crazy today. Again, where's the 52-week high and low? I'm going to pull that up. Oh, it did populate the rest of my indicators in there. So that's okay. I will just leave those up there. But you can see the orange line at the top. It bounced off that 52-week low. We've been in this downward trend, okay, for a long time now. The other 52-week low is right here, down here where my cursor is. Now, if I were to draw a trend line, I'm going to mark the top and run this line through the next highest point and then create the channel. Geez. This, by the way, people, this does look a little bit scary because we've been in a downward trend since it's October 25. We've been heading downhill on Bitcoin with a couple different things going on. A consolidation that broke out right here. Look what happened. It hit this trend line up here again. These are the last couple of days. Okay, I'm not trying to freak people out. Just look at technicals, okay? Technicals don't lie. Bitcoin's trading at 59 right now. And I do happen to know that 60, because it comes across here, that 62 level, let's just put our line in there. That 62 was right about here. We broke through that support. Where do you think Bitcoin's going to go from here, everybody? It's going to go down further. Okay, it is going to go down further. Now, it's arguably, could it come down to this other trend line that I've got that's pink right here? That would be around the $40,000 mark. Hey, there's some opportunity, people. I didn't want to overwhelm you. Just a short little thing on how TradingView can be used, where you draw lines and stuff. Hundreds of different indicators. If you're interested in that, links below. Make sure when you're looking at these charting services, you're on the correct service, because there's a lot of scams out there. You go in there, you put your email and crap, and it's the wrong link. Make sure you don't do that. So I'm looking for support, resistance, trend lines for starters. Okay, that 52-week high. It shouldn't be in a trade unless I know where I want to exit. Okay, and where is the optimal spot or position, price action wise, to get in. Okay, those are a couple of the main things here. So if you want to use the same charting platform that I use, it's TradingView. I just mentioned the links below here. Make sure you click the right link. I can guarantee you on my channel, this is the correct link. It's free. It's free to just do what I just showed you guys to do. If you want additional, more complicated indicators, they do have a scale of pricing depending on how many indicators you want right there. So take a look at that. It takes a little bit to get used to where the buttons are and things like that. But what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, please use charts to enter your trades and be aware of where you want to exit. Since I've been doing that with my trades, I'm winning much more. I'm about an 86% win rate right now. And it also helps you manage how to exit losing trades. Okay. It's that whole thing about just being disciplined to not get emotional and just use black and white concrete information on the charts to help you make decisions. All right, everybody, thanks for checking in. Hopsaw signing off. Good luck trading. Do something fun this weekend. All right, peace out.